Welcome to Jump School. I'm your host, Ihsaan Ali, aka the StyleJumper. On this podcast, you'll learn a ton of things. We'll talk about style, confidence, etiquette, creativity, and entrepreneurship. Today's episode was brought to you by my new book, Why Style Matters, The Mindset of Dressing Well and How It Impacts Your Life. To get your autographed copy, click the link in the description. Today's guest is an entrepreneur, creative mind, and celebrity stylist. The confident, the personal brand storyteller himself, Mark Q. Episode 23. The following is an excerpt from Instagram Live. Let's go. Tonight, I have an amazing guest, Mr. Mark Q from here in the DMV. Welcome to the show.
What's up? Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
So let's go ahead. Sorry.
You gotta bear with me, bro. Like, this is my first live, so you gotta bear with me. I'm trying to get all the technicalities together. Like, it's crazy. Cool. But are you here in the DMV?
Yeah, man. I'm right here in Moco, man. I'm in Montgomery County, man. So we close.
Good stuff. Yeah. So you know about the DMV, so we don't gotta break into all of that. But again, thank you for inviting me tonight, man. Just want to come on here and just have a candid conversation, man. Let's talk fashion, let's talk life, let's talk, all of it. So, I'm here for all of it.
That's what's up. So for those who don't know, tell us really about, where you grew up, because a lot of times where we grow up really influences us in our point of view, right? Our lingo, our posture, everything that we do. So let's start with that. Where'd you grow up, and go from there?
Absolutely. So again, born and bred in the DMV. For those who are following, don't know that, DMV is DC, Maryland, Virginia. Born in DC, but primarily raised in Prince George's County. And as you know, one of the most affluent, African-American communities here in the country. So, that's where I was raised. With the Sulin High School, shout out to the Rams. If I got any Rams online, people gonna be late, so I'm waiting for folks to trickle on in. And
all good, baby.
Join the live. But yeah, with the Sulin High School, and I was a typical kid, who, two-parent household, siblings, like raised in a very, very like structured, grounded environment. And, we were taught, get the good grades, go through school, get those grades. Get into college, knock that out, get the job, get the six figures, the home, the picket fence, and all of that. And I did that technically, but my creative side was just fighting to get out. You know what I mean? And if you ask my mom, I think she's actually on this live, which is crazy. But,
hey, Mom. What's up, Mom?
So, Mom, what's going on? Yes, I think she's on this live. But, if you ask her, like, I was your typical kid who never got dirty. Like, So fashion for me started early. Like, I was in the Nikes and the Oshkosh and the Reebok, like all of that. I never got dirty. I was the only kid in high school literally wearing like turtlenecks, boots, and flannel, button-ups and
just fly.
You know what I'm saying? So, I was the only kid doing that.
Yeah.
And my parents allowed me to just express who I was. I was just always clean, just meticulous and put together. And, it worked for some people in school, and others, of course, I got teased. Of course, people had things to say because I wasn't, I was popular, but, I didn't kind of dress like your average, 16, 17-year-old.
Yeah.
And from there, bro, like it just manifested into, my love for just all things fashion. Like I would, participate in the high school fashion shows. And then by my senior year, I was producing, scenes in the show. And, for me, it was just fun back then, and not really knowing that, wait a minute, Mark, like this might be your passion, this might be your God-given gift. So, I started doing those things and then, got into college and again, focused. My freshman year finished with a 3.7, but it was still fashion, was in the fashion shows there in college and producing different things and, you know, again, I was the only freshman wearing Express Men, and my boys was like, "What the hell? Like, why you got on color button-ups at homecoming?" I'm like,
yeah.
You know, I'm fresh. Like, so what? You know, but did that, and you know, from there, people started asking for advice, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta start dressing the masses." Like, friends was like, you know, they would clown me for having on Express, and then be like, "Yo, I got this date. What you think I should wear, bro?" And I'm like, "Oh, so now you want my advice? I got it."
Yeah.
So it was crazy. So, you know, we did that, and you know, again, it trickled on and kept going. I would get friends' advice and you know, start dressing my friends and again, fashion shows and things like that. And I was like, man, I got a little older, and I was like, I think I really got a love and I got a talent, you know, it's a knack for this. So, you know, I was no longer just dressing myself, and here we are.
All right, Mark. So let's wind it back a little bit. You know, you really it's interesting hearing your story of being a fly guy really early on.
Right.
So who would you say, as a kid, who were some of your biggest influences, whether that be family members or something that you saw that, like, okay, this is almost like the prototype, you know what I mean? Like, or even like a avatar, like that is the look, or that person really have me thinking every time I see them get dressed, I'm like, wow, that's pretty fly. Is there anybody that kind of spoke to you, or someone in your family that said, you know, kind of cater you towards dressing a certain way?
To be honest, I really don't know where I got that knack from. Again, my mom has always been fly. You know, I got an aunt who was in the fashion industry early on. You know, worked in children's magazines, publications, and all of that. And she's super creative even to this day. So I think it was something that was probably in my genes, you know, like genetics. But I mean, I can't lie. Now, I do have an uncle who, growing up, I was like, okay, he stayed fly. Always in the latest cars, always in the latest gear. So he stayed, you know, fly. So part of my late high school, you know, I would go to homecoming. I'm like, you know, Unc, let me borrow that shirt. Let me get this Valentino. Let me get this Versace, you know. You know, so he was always popping in labels. But I think other than that, man, it was literally just something that was innate in me. Like, I just loved the idea of just playing around with different looks and being comfortable with who I was and what I was comfortable in. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So when did you realize, like, man, you're starting to get there, like, this could, you know, a college, like, man, this could be a good opportunity for me. But even as a youngster, when did you look in the mirror? Because I think all of us get to this point, if we're into gear, we look in the mirror and go, man, I'm pretty fresh. I figured it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when do you remember that moment? You know, kind of take us back to that. Like,
man, you taking me back. You gotta date me, bro. Let me think about this. I think it was honestly when I got a little older. It was literally college, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I was so low key in high school, like, again, was known, you know, and would, you know, chill with the masses, everybody. But I was super low key in high school. But when I got to college, I can't lie, you know, the women started coming out of nowhere, and I started dressing a little different. I started finding a different niche, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of feeling myself. Like, your boy is killing the game right now. So it was around that college time when I was like, okay, like, this is a different vibe for me. And I started, you know, moving into a different wave. And what we'll talk about a little later is just like fashion and waves, you know, like, it's just levels to it, and how we switch it up and interchange what we do. So so it was definitely probably college when, you know, the compliments started rolling in. It was older women like, oh, that boy fresh. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, he ducked my shoulders off. So I was trying to get that tuition paid for, because these student loans is crazy.
You know?
So, I was like, man, so that probably was yeah, my turning point when the fashion kind of shifted, and like I say, we'll talk about that shift.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
So when you're in college, and now your boys are start saying, man, you rocking that Express, man.
Right.
You're looking fresh, and man, I need help because I see you got it. I don't know. I mean, I know what colors I might like, but I don't really know the fits. I see you rocking this. I don't even know how you put it together like that. Your boy Fly Guy said you've been fresh since high school.
Right.
So
That's one of my best friends, man. I'm trying to scroll through the comments. What's good, Ihsaan? Yeah, that's literally one of my best. We've been friends over 20 years, so he know. He definitely know. Yeah, my mom on here. Thank you, Ma. Appreciate it. Everybody on here, man. I gotta scroll through all these comments, but and I told y'all, bear with me. This is my first live, so bear with me. Because I'm like, I don't know, do I curse? I don't know.
Yeah, man. Just the whole idea for you to be yourself. I mean, if you cool, however you talking for the mom know you did.
Well,
we family.
Yikes. Let me go and clean it up. I ain't gonna be too rated up. Clean it up. But but nah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, so you actually, and one of the things I usually do with the lives is to kind of set it up where, we just have a conversation. If someone wants to make a comment or a question, they can hit the little button and write their question there. That way we can continue having a dialogue, and then, maybe we can scroll through a little bit.
Cool.
And that way we can stay on track, and, we keep people be punctual, if you will, and keep them focused and engaged. But we'll see things fly across, and I'll pop it off, and so you keep it going. You can laugh and crack it up. But you start helping your boys out in college, and then when would you say that the opportunity presented itself to truly find your first client? What was that like your real client?
So I'm going to fast forward a little bit and tell you that story. So basically, out of college, and I did formulate that whole idea of, getting the good grades, coming out, getting the 9 to 5, and all that good stuff. Because I will say this for a lot of my following, if you don't know me personally, and what's up, Patrice from Canada? Thank you for tapping in. Thank you. A lot of my followers who don't know me personally think that I'm a full-time stylist, and I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. For those who don't know me personally, I'm definitely not, man. I literally still work full-time. Still got that 9 to 5. So that's kind of how my I started that way, and still rocking with that.
Well, Mark, before you go next, because I think this is a really interesting part. Okay. A lot of us have that internal struggle with a 9 to 5 and that dream or goal. Right. So how's the catalyst? How are you balancing internally? Like, I can stay motivated at the JO and still be inspired by my gift. And sometimes people get jaded, and they get like, they take that job for granted. Like, what, the 9 to 5 is trash. I want to be doing this. And they lose that opportunity to use the 9 to 5 as a vehicle, because it's only the vehicle for your final destination. Sometimes people look at it that way. So yeah, man, let's talk about that real quick. How do you manage that internally, and then also physically? How do you balance those two?
Got you. So nigga, what up? Homie from Atlanta. She doing big things. So she kind of asks, is my 9 to 5 related to fashion? It's not. And fashion is something that I definitely want to move into full time. But like you were saying, bro, like, it's definitely a struggle. So I went to school, and I have a bachelor's and a master's degree. So I work full time, in the government field, in the legal field. And I do all that good stuff. But it definitely has absolutely nothing to do with fashion at all. Like, it's like two different worlds. And the struggle is, keeping the 9 to 5, of course, because guess what? I like insurance. I like to keep that money rolling in. That's a great check. So I want to keep that going. But fashion is something that I've learned to not make just a part-time gig. I've turned fashion into like a second full-time job. And what I mean by that is I definitely treat it as if I'm going to work this full-time, and I'm going to put these 40 hours in a week to make someone else rich or look good, I'm definitely going to do the same for my own brand. I'm definitely going to dedicate the time and an investment there. And you literally got to finagle it. What's up, Jarrell? You got to finagle it, and you got to make it work for you. Like, I travel with my laptop. You know, I got to work iPhone. So guess what? If I'm on set, I send an email real quick, like, boop, boop, in another meeting, I get back. You know, so is it a little embellishment? Of course it is. But at the end of the day, you gotta listen, fake it till you make it. You gotta hustle. You know, so for me, that's the definition of hustle. You know, making it work and figuring it out, because nobody's going to figure it out for you. My parents taught me that early on, like, nothing is ever going to be given to you. You got to, you know, take it. It's for the taking. So for me, I, you know, manage both of them and treat them and give them the equal respect that they deserve. You know, so I stay on top of my 9 to 5, but with my full-time, I mean, with my image consultant agency, like, I'm completely invested. I'm locked in. I'm jumping on planes. I'm jumping on trains. I'm here. I'm there. Like, folks know. Kyla Drew, what's up? She just jumped in the room. Worked with her last week in LA, man. She's a talented actress. What's going on, Kyla? So, nice. Literally, like, you know, she knows. Again, it was a work. It was a Friday. You know, when you take that leave and you hop on that plane and you do what you got to do in order to manifest your dreams, because my whole thing is I want that to be my full time. So let me go back to that first client and that, you know, that start, you know, for you and for everybody tuning in. And thank you to everybody tuning in so far. Again, I appreciate it. Y'all could be doing anything else with your night, but you're here. So thank you so much. Right. So literally, I was working a part-time job at the Gap, and I was there for years, bro. And I literally met, you know, different coworkers, and we got to talking about our interests and, you know, things that we're into outside of, you know, the retail realm of Gap. So talking to coworker, this is probably about 2012 or 2013. Like, I was in that bad boy. I was like a Gap model. I was working there for like 10 years. Like, bro, I owned like every damn like V-neck sweater, every fit, loose fit, boot cut, skinny. I had every denim you could think of with the Gap, man. So, you know, I got to talking to one of my friends at work one day, and I was like, yo, I love the idea of styling. Like, I think I want to get into that. He was like, I'm a photographer. So I was like, this might be a good pairing. So again, it was like 2012, 2013. We sat down. I said, great, you do photography. I'm good with dressing, folks. Let's do a shoot. We were like, you know what? I was like, man, I don't really want to buy these clothes. What if they get ruined or something like that? I don't got to run my credit card. Like, I'm young. Listen, how am I going to get these clothes? Yeah. So he said, listen, let's write up a proposal. Since we already work for the Gap, let's write up a proposal to the district team, and let's see if they will let us pull some looks. And we do a lookbook for the store. Nice. So not for Gap, the whole brand, but literally just for our particular store. Yeah. So anybody gonna, you know, Gap, Pentagon City, man, 1027. If y'all on here, like, they shut it down, but damn, we got some memories. But you know, so we wrote that proposal. We sent it off to corporate, and we said, you know what, we're gonna take a shot. The worst thing that anybody can say, is if anybody's listening, worst thing anybody can say is no. So take your shot. You know, because again, our dream is our dream. And guys, I see your questions, and I'm going to get to those in a little bit. So, you know, we submitted that, and they actually approved it. District manager said, we love your idea. It'll drive more business to the store. It'll drive more traffic. Let's get in here, and we want you guys to go ahead and do the lookbook for the store. So he and I teamed up. We found 2 models. Got a makeup artist locally from the DMV, and we jumped onto doing our first shoot. And from that, we went to Malcolm X Park, I'll never forget it, in DC, shot these 2 models with all of the Gap clothing. They let us pull whatever we wanted to from our store, and it was incredible. incredible, man. Like,
Wow.
incredible. And I was like, this is the first time I was working and it didn't feel like work.
Mm.
And that's when it clicked for me. I was like, you know what? This is what God is going to have me to do. This is what I'm put here to, I'm literally here to share my gift of style, you know, because it's not about just making somebody look good, but it's about a feeling and making them feel good. So,
Thanks.
did their first shoot. We posted up those looks. The store loved it. They posted up these images. Then at the time, I didn't even have Instagram. So I had friends was like, yo, how you gonna be a whole stylist and not have Instagram? And I was like, okay, like, yeah, hell, I'm gonna go start one. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna start it.
Yeah.
And I started it, posted up these looks. People was loving it. You know, people were loving it. It was like, yo, you was flying in high school, you were flying college. So like, it's only right that you doing fashion. And I was like, okay, you know, people love it. So it's like a woosah moment, like, whoo, like, I think I'm good, but so many other people think I'm good. So I was like, all right, bet. So from there, literally, I had friends from high school who were getting married, and they said, we love what you did. I didn't know you were doing fashion. We want you to style our engagement shoot. And I was like, I would be honored, but still cut the check because I got so
Boy, need to eat.
I need the money, cut the check.
Need that bag.
So, you know, that was like my first paid gig, jumped on that. And from there, bro, like the rest is literally history. I started putting out my work. I was doing promo projects. I was doing little local marketing projects and, you know, spec shoots and all that good stuff of just models and folks who are entering the industry and the music game at that time and writing books at that time. So just different things. And I mean, the list goes on, but that's literally how I booked my first paid gig. And from there, again, I moved on to being a contributing fashion contributor for Sister to Sister magazine when it was just digital.
Yeah.
I was submitting articles to them every week. Homegrown with the college with ended up being one of the editors. So it, you know, it worked out for me. And it's all about how you treat people too. Build those relationships early, man, and treat people how you want to be treated because you never know how it comes back around. But, you know, she pulled me in. I started doing that. I started doing, I was a fashion contributor for News Channel 8. I started doing Let's Talk Live morning segments, talking about all things fashion, man. And like I said, just continue to spin and spiral, and here we are today.
That's an amazing story because a lot of times we take those opportunities for granted, but also we allow our fear to control us, right?
Right.
You know,
right.
Speaking from the gap, or even that first opportunity where someone says, "Hey, I want someone to style my wedding reception or my wedding event." Right. And a lot of that fear is like, man, I don't want to mess that up. This is someone's, lifetime experience. I want to, I don't want to have that responsibility. Some people don't want the ball at the end of the game. They don't want to shoot that shot. Some people get the ball and they pass it on because they do not want to shoot it. Yep. So just talking about business, with everything that happened last year with COVID, what are some of the pivots that improved your business last year? What are some things that really happened and you thought, wow, I never thought this would impact in a positive way on the business?
So I think the biggest thing for me was people had a chance to sit down and actually plan out what they wanted to do. So therefore, when the world opened back up like mid-summer last year, it was all about execution. You know what I mean? So for me, I didn't, I had calls and meetings and people were like, maybe you should just pivot to just all digital, clientele, provide them with digital lookbooks and go over there, do a Zoom call so you can go through their closets and do closet clean outs and restructure their image. And I was like, well, first of all, ain't nobody going no damn where. So shut down, anywhere to go. So I said, you know what? But the thing I hate about that is that I can't get personal. Part of what I do in this business is developing relationships. I want to be personal with my clientele. I want to make sure that you don't just use me one time and abuse me and throw me away. You know what I mean? So I don't want to create just a one-time moment. I want to build a long-lasting relationship, and that's everybody I work with. Because again, I'm big on energy, I'm big on vibes, so I want people to stay locked in for as long as they need to be. So doing the virtual thing, I was like, I could do it, but am I gonna love it? No. Am I all into it? No. So, and I got to stay true to me. You know, I got to stay true to me because, and I'm going to say this before I move on, is one of my biggest mantras for my business is people have to buy into me before they buy into the brand. And what I mean by that is not some facade of me, is that I'm going to give you who I am. What comes up, comes out. And if you can rock with that, if it meshes with your energy, your core, we good. Hey, then we meant to rock, you know. But if we're not, guess what? It's not for me, you know, and that's fine. That's okay. You know, everybody is not for you, or, you know, money ain't good money. You know, we all know the saying. So, you know, we got to be able to dissect what's going to be for us and not. But anyway, you know, going through the pandemic, you're chilling, you're trying to figure out life, your next move, this, that, and the third. And again, I was blessed to still have, again, that full-time job. Didn't let it go. I'm still getting paid, work from home. So I'm like, okay, God, you know, you're still in this. But my part-time, I got texts and calls left and right. Oh, man, I know you suffering. Ain't nobody going nowhere. Nobody needs to be styled. And I'm like, yeah, for a couple months. But literally, when I tell you God was on it because he was lining it up, he said, remain faithful. Literally, when the world opened back up just a little bit in like June, like legit, everybody started calling him out of everywhere because they needed stylists. You know, so I had my Atlanta clients tapping in. Oh, can you fly down? Do you feel comfortable? I want you to work on this project. So I want you to work on this. My local clients who were here in the DMV, they were like, you know, we're releasing podcasts, we're releasing books. We need new imagery. We need new images for marketing and promotion. And bro, like as soon as we were able to get outside, I was in a mall doing pulls, shopping. It was insane. Like it was crazy. It was crazy. And literally, I got on planes and I just prayed about it. Got on trains and did what I had to do and literally prayed about it and made it happen. You know, man, so
it's nothing like being a faithful servant. You know, one of my favorite quotes is, you know, when one man's decision is connected to so many people's destiny. Meaning, you know, when you're disciplined in what you are supposed to do, it's connected to so many people's destiny. So, What one of the interesting things about the industry, and I want to get your thoughts on, is it's a female-dominant industry usually. What makes you successful? I know you kind of talked about building those relationships and connecting with individuals, but specifically about a highly influenced industry of female stylists usually. How are you separating yourself from everyone else to be successful?
So to be honest, I agree with you, but there's this industry and a lot of folks in the beauty industry are male. Okay. It's a heavily dominated male world. Even talk about locally in the DMV, some of your top stylists in the DMV are men. Like it's insane. And looking at some of the people that I follow and I admire, especially us as Blacks and African Americans, like who are really making their mark in the industry. Yeah, you got your June Ambrose, who is literally a fashion icon. Like, you know, she's a style icon. And, you know, of course, she's a phenomenal woman. I look forward to meeting her one day. But a lot of people I look up to are all men, you know.
That's dope.
Like, and they are killing it. Some of the people who are styling, some of your biggest celebrities are men. I mean, you talk about, first, I'm going to go to my mentor. I don't think he's on this call, but, you know, he's born and raised here in the DMV. We actually went to high school together, but he's a stylist in LA. So I don't know if you follow Apuje Kalu, but celebrity stylist in LA, killing the game, and became one of my first mentors. And I mean, he's had everybody from Neo to Jay Ellis to, God, I'm forgetting people. I mean, he didn't have his hands on so many folks. And literally how I navigated is, again, continuously being me. And I think as a male stylist, I have a predominantly female clientele, and I think it works to my benefit because I know what I want to see a woman in. You know, I know how I want to see a woman dress. So for me, when I'm picking and selecting, you know, outfits, and I'm like, this is maybe what you want to consider, it's because I'm like, yo, we ain't getting dressed for us.
Yeah,
I get dressed. I don't care what you think about me. Like, I ain't getting dressed for you. You know, we definitely gonna get dressed for the opposite sex. So for my women and my female clients, I'm like, listen, you dressing for your homegirls, we know, because women just like, sis, like, you killing the game. Like, we know how they do. But, you know, for the most part, it's also to sometimes impress or gain the attention of the opposite sex. So for me, I'm going to put you into a look or create a brand that is going to be appealing and comfortable, not just for you, but appealing to those who are looking at you. And for a man, we know what we want to see. And for me, we want to see sexy. And it doesn't have to mean that your breasts out, you know, your ass out. Like,
Speak on that, because I think that's usually, not usually, but it's quite often a misconception. Talk about the sexy without, like, showing everything.
Yo, like, at this point, like, it's some women out here, I'm like, I don't even think there's nothing left. Like, we didn't all saw it. Like, you know, I think it's important to, I can't speak for every man, but I think for men in general, we want some type of suspense. We want a little bit of mystery, you know? So covered up can be very sexy because at the end of the day, the clothes don't wear you. You got to wear the clothes. So if you got on a full suit, but you got that 4-inch stiletto, oh my God. Speak on it. You understand? Like, a woman with confidence is everything.
Yeah.
So you can have on a trash bag, some a fitted cap, and some Timbs. But if you're confident in that look and you execute it the right way,
and know how to walk,
you are going to turn heads.
Man,
it's the confidence. I don't care what you. I mean, I done seen some half-naked women, and naturally you're gonna be like, you know. But for real, you're like, man, I wouldn't take her home.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I just wouldn't do it. And it's my personal opinion. Whoever's on this live, I'm not here to offend anybody.
Yeah.
But again, I am who I am, and literally, I like to work with my clients and let them know, listen, you can be fully clothed, but we got to accentuate the parts that's going to be sexy. You know, so if you got a small chest, but you thick around the bottom, then you know what we're going to do? We're going to make that bottom half thump. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Like, we're going to make that thing rock. You know? You know, if you got bigger chests, like, we're going to do a V-neck. We don't want no nip slips, you know, but we also want to give them just enough cleavage, because also with a turtleneck, you might choke your damn self. So we don't want that problem, you know, but, you know, we're going to give you just enough with a V-neck where it's just enough. I like just enough. And for me, if you're confident and you know how to wear what you have on and don't let them clothes wear you, that's when you know that you have style. It's poise, it's elegance, it's sexy. That's when you know you're bringing some heat. But just because you got your ass out, that don't mean nothing for me. Like,
I feel the same way, Mark, 100%. You know, and that's a great point, and that brings up my next question. We spoke on the ladies. What are some unwritten rules about style that men need to understand? Because you do both, and obviously children, but men. What are some areas of opportunity for men and those unwritten rules that if they figure this out, fellas, listen.
Yeah.
You figure these things out, it'll change the game for you. So, asking the expert.
So, my two biggest things for the fellas, and if any of my male clients are on here, anybody who want to reach out and be a potential new client, I got two main points. My first thing is stop running away from titles, okay? And what I mean by that is we get lost, especially my older generation is like, bro, I'm not wearing no skinny jeans. I don't wear no skinny, them damn leggings, I ain't wearing that. It's about fit. Stop being scared of titles. I'm not going to put you in a legging. I don't wear leggings, but we got to get you on something that fits, okay? Don't be scared because the label says slim. That don't make you less masculine. Skinny don't make you less masculine. Again, it's same conversation you would have with a woman. It's about the confidence that you exude when you wear these items, you know? My thing is a brand or labeling should not question your masculinity. It should not question any of that. And what's good, Ash? Like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, she's
right. Point, you know, my next point is, you know, not just being afraid of labels and being able to be on point with being open to try different fits and things of that nature, colors, textures. But yes, the fit and the tailoring is the biggest thing for us as men.
Good.
You gotta wear things that fit. Don't be afraid to get you a good tailor on your team. Get those things, you know, listen. If you love it and it's too big, you can't wear it to the club tonight, homeboy. You can't.
Gotta shelf it for a minute. Yeah, gotta shelf it.
You gotta take that thing, get it altered.
Yep.
So it's gonna fit right. Like, and understand that I mean, that's my only, I don't know another way to say it. Like, tailoring is going to be super important for guys. Like, making sure if you love oversized, hey, do that. I'm not going to knock that. But when it comes time for a suit, fellas, like, there's no getting around making sure your suit is on point. Like, and you got to tailor it to a T. You know, but if you in, you know, hoodies and sweats, like, by all means, like, do your thing. Like, that need to be sag out. But for me, for the fellas, just making sure we are tailored to a T.
It's interesting, man, because I think that's a big challenge for guys. We don't know how to make, a lot of guys don't know how to make that transition, because if you like a loose fit, right, and you transition into a suit, your mindset or your thinking is that the suit should be just as loose as those oversized clothes you're wearing, and it usually swallows you up. You lose your the contouring of your body, those things you want to accentuate as well. That makes you lose that with the suit that's way too big. What are some things that that drive you from day to day when it comes to your personal brand and what you're doing?
So my ambition, man, like, I refuse to fail, you know, and it's like my biggest thing is I definitely want to leave a legacy. You know, too often, so many of us work out 9 to 5s to pay bills and die. Legit, they work, pay bills, and you leave this earth. And for me, I'm not going out like that. You know, at the beginning of this live, I told you, I still work full time. But what I refuse to do is remain there until I'm 60 years old. And get that plaque and that piece of cake, and it says "Job well done" on your retirement.
And broken cheap watch, maybe.
There you go. Or a little pen, you know, a little medallion. Like, I'm not working 40 years for somebody else for you to tell me "Job well done" and it's according to your standards, and you're gonna let me out with a plaque and a piece of paper and a pen or a piece of paper or some cake. Like, no, that's not what I'm doing. So for me, I do it for everybody around me. I do it for my family. I do it for my children. I want people to understand that, listen, dreams can become a reality. Anything you set your mind to is possible. So what literally drives me every day is knowing that I'm inspiring just one person, just one, to be great, to follow their dreams, to follow their path. All of us have a God-given talent. All of us are talented in our own rights. So it's important to utilize your God-given talent. You know, it's our purpose, you know, for being here. We all got one. So leaving my legacy, I say it all the time, I'm writing my story every single day. Every day my feet touch the ground, I'm writing the story of my life. And everything is a new chapter, bro. You know, everything and every day is a new chapter. So for me, I want to be the narrator. I want to dictate how I tell my story, you know? And literally, when I close my eyes, I want that legacy to live on. And I want people to remember that, guess what? He just wasn't some dude who went to work at a 9 to 5 every day, reported, did what he had to do, and went home, paid bills, and da-da-da. Nah, I want to live. I want you to be like, man, this fool got up and, you know, decided he wanted pizza at 3 o'clock in the morning. He jumped on a PJ and went to Paris. Like, that's the type of energy I'm trying to be on. You know,
I love that. I love that.
Because if anything is possible, and my team keeps me going because we all have the same mentality. You know, anything is possible. Anything.
So, Mark, you know, I appreciate, you know, that's such a great word and so, like, really thought-provoking. I wanted to kind of set things up because I know we're deep into the hour. And so I wanted to give the opportunity to kind of go back to our format, if you will, of, hey, if you wanted to ask a question of Mark or myself, let's do that right now. If you want to come on, let's come on in. We got about 15 minutes or so. So if you want to come on and voice your thoughts, or we can go back into the comments, Mark, and we can just go ahead and you can bounce off some of these questions that maybe some people have asked, so that they, you know, we get everyone engaged.
Yeah. I know. We don't, definitely, guys, don't be afraid of color for sure. And you know what's crazy I didn't get a chance to talk about, and we're going to definitely open it up to the questions. Anybody got questions? But again, your styles, allow your style to pivot. Allow your style to alter. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when I was younger, it was all like, you know, I thought I was hot stuff in a button up and some slacks. Like I was going to the office like, you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, man, if you don't give me some Jordans and a hoodie so I can be comfortable, I'm too old. I'm tired.
Man, I was going to compliment on the leather jacket.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Yeah, man, the black leather stuff, the motorcycle jacket.
Thank you. And you know what's crazy? I done had this jacket for years. It's a Zara jacket, like, bro. And I'm mad because it's starting to peel a little bit, and I'm not real leather. I'm like, do I throw it away? And I'm like, it's now my fit. So I'm gonna keep this thing right here.
Yeah, no doubt.
Wearing my jacket. Man, I'm trying to see. I think Ash was on here. Thank y'all, man. Everybody, just thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Again, I might do this more often. Hell, I think
it's important, you know, because what I started at the beginning of the episode, Mark, is that a lot of times we have so many talented people in this industry, fashion, you know, tailors, you know, stylists, barbers, groomers, hair products, skin products, and we never hear those stories. Yep. How did they get into the business? And for us, I truly believe that we have to see it to believe it's possible. We have to feel like we have to touch it to know, or know someone, like you said, your mentor. It just really, it galvanized your belief. I'm assuming that, hey, this is someone I know. I went to school with this person. He's in LA and he's making it happen, you know, and I can do the same thing from my vantage point, my point of view. Sometimes we get caught up in, you know, well, you know, I can't do it because this person is doing, or, you know, I'm playing small because you feel like, you know, you're taking away from someone else, or even someone that might not share their knowledge with you because they feel as though that you may be taking business and opportunities from you. But at the same time, there's tens of thousands of people who need help, who have questions, who don't understand, who really looking for that type of advice and guidance.
And it's a cutthroat industry, man. It's cutthroat, like it really is. And we can talk about that all day. Let me get to this question. Thanks, homie. Appreciate it. My people online, I appreciate y'all being here, man. All right, so Matt had a question. Thank you, brother. Do you think you would grow more in Atlanta, LA? I get that question all the time about leaving the DMV, you know, would I ever, you know? I'm never going to say never, because I'm going to tell you right now, the opportunities that God has presented within just like the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks in LA is insane. Like, it's insane, and it's nobody but God. So I would never say I wouldn't leave the DMV to pursue my career further, but I would say this. I believe that I can grow no matter where I am, because what's for me is going to be for me.
Thanks.
But if I leave the DMV, there's different things that I want to bring back here to always leave my legacy and my roots here. Not talking too much about it right now. I'm in the planning stages of some things, and just know that these things come to fruition. It'll be done here in the DMV, and you know. But again, I'm never going to say never. I could flourish. I got clients in LA now, in Atlanta. I believe I can flourish in any of those cities. So would I relocate? Yes, I would. But am I going to relocate? Yeah, I got to stay tuned.
Oh, snap. That's so Mark, Southern Gentleman asks, tips for styling tall men. Like, what are some things you'd recommend for guys that are really tall? How to accentuate their length and height?
Buy long pants. No, let me say. So for tall guys, I got a client who's about 6'2", 6'3". The biggest thing, again, it just really goes back to tailoring. You know, it goes back to that fit. There are places out there that cater to tall gentlemen. So for my guy who just commented, Southern Gentleman, for example, there are, like, I love Suit Supply, for example. They have great suit options for a taller gentleman and with longer arms, because a lot of times you're going to need a, Lord, I'm drawing a blank on my measurements right now, but you're going to need definitely at least a 34 inseam on your pants. Some gentlemen may need a 36, but to get the pants unfinished and then get them hemmed to the length that you need it is always a good, you know, definitely a good plug. Also, custom is a good way to go, because again, they're going to tailor it directly to your fit for sure. Because it's going to be harder for my taller gentleman, my heavier gentleman, like buying off the rack is going to be damn near impossible.
Yeah.
So, you know, online shopping is a good way to go. I just discovered I just used them back in March. I just discovered another brand because I worked with actually a tall gentleman. He was kind of broad in the shoulders. He was probably about 6'3", another 200 and something pounds, you know, big, like linebacker style dude. As a client of mine, I went through a company called the Black Tux.
Black Tux, yeah.
Literally, it's all formal wear. So for my gentleman who's on a live, you're thinking about formal wear, they will customize your suit for you, and you don't even have to buy it. You literally can rent it. They still customize it, and you return it back. You can also opt to purchase, but they are a great rental house in order to get what it is that you need for a special occasion, special event, things of that nature. But online is really the way to go in order to definitely cater to our smaller, thicker, our taller, thicker gentlemen. Because just like off the rack is not where it's at.
Yeah, it's not designed. They're not designed. You know, you have your standard graded fits, right? So they continue to go those grades, and so it's almost like a shoe size. But if you once you get to the point of being really tall and slim, and to your point, Suit Supply is great because they have a slim. Their cut is very slim, so it's gonna that whole model of the cut of the suit is gonna look great on you. Southern Gentleman, take that as definitely as an option. But I agree with Mark.
Absolutely. So I hope that answered your question, man. Because it's tough. It's tough when you not sample size. I'm telling you, this industry, everything is sample size and everything is a European cut. So everything is kind of slim, and not just women, but men. You know, more importantly, black men. Like, we got bodies.
Yeah,
so
we got thighs and ass.
Thighs. Hey, man, can we talk about the thigh problem? Even for smaller brothers, like, I be like, damn, I gotta go up a size again.
Yeah,
it's not even COVID weight. I'm out here jogging, trying to get this on. My God.
It's a fact, man. We got those quads, man. It's just something else. You know, we either have quads or hips and butt. So those are talents. Yeah, man. So you got to size up. Man, and then get it trimmed down to get through the thighs. Otherwise, it's going to be like someone spraying it on your legs. I'm laying off that
new Popeye's chicken sandwich, bro. Like, Chick-fil-A get too much of my money. I'm like, nope.
You know.
I got these thighs over here. I got to get on these hips. Goddamn.
So, Mark, before we get another question, I'll ask you this. So, you know, the channel is really about the power of nonverbal communication. And what you do is powerful, right? So, you work in an industry that even your look is important, and whether you're attracting a female or male client. What would you call, and you mentioned before that you have elevated and believe people should elevate and change their style, if you will. What would you call your personal style? How did you find it for yourself?
I am a big melting pot of a bunch of stuff. I consider myself a chameleon. I can blend in anywhere, but I'm more so 100% comfortable street, yet chic with it. You know what I mean? Like, I do. It's like, I lie to you not. I want to always be in. If I can be in hoodies and J's, like, that is my uniform. Like, I love it. I love it. I love it. Like, I don't want to be suited up. You're going to see me on the streets of DC with this moto jacket, a t-shirt. I do have pants on. I don't have on, you know, just my drawers right now, but I ain't going to stand up. You know, I just want to be in jeans, sweatpants, a hoodie, like, comfortable, because I'm always on the move, always on the go. So definitely more of like a comfortable chic. If you know, street chic, you know. Like,
street chic. I was gonna say like an elegant street look. You know, yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I will dress up a sneaker real quick. I will put on a pant, like a slim fit pant, or I will put on more of I'm gonna call it a crop. I mean, because, you know, that's what it is. I'm more like a crop pant. Put it on with a sneaker and go. Like, I am a shoe fanatic. Like, shoes and coats, it's insane. So literally, I'm more like a street chic, comfortable type dude.
That's
like,
what's up.
You're never gonna see me. My birthday last month was the first time I put on a suit in forever, and I'm like, that was for the photos, because I took Ihsaan. Nah, I'm done.
I like that. I like that street chic, and, you know, I usually call my personal style adult street. You know, I'm pushing 50, so
black don't crack though, brother.
You already know, man.
Get it going.
It's like that Kool-Aid, man. So drinking a whole lot of Kool-Aid growing up. But I like this. You know, I see Ihsaan. What's up, Ihsaan Caraway? Ihsaan's from Carolina as well. You know, Karen has a question here. She says, do you have to spend a lot of money to be stylish?
See, that's a setup. Cause that's mama right there.
Mom Deuce teed you up, man. Alley-oop, oh boy. I love it.
Hey, so do you have to spend money? You don't.
Great.
But see, my family, they know I spend a lot of money. I do. But it's an investment, okay? Say it with me, people. Investment,
Mom.
It's an investment. So, because again, people are going to look at me on the street and be like, I don't want this guy to style me if he can't dress. So it doesn't mean you have to have on labels. But for me, I enjoy mixing high and low. Mix high and low.
Yeah, that's what I do too. Yeah, I agree.
I love a good, you know, like I'm a big YSL fan. Saint Laurent, I'm a huge fan. So do I have a lot of it? You know, that's up for debate, you know. But I would throw on a good sneaker real quick, but I'm gonna put it on with maybe an H&M hoodie, you know, or you might see me in a pair of J's, but I got on a Helmet Lane, you know, hoodie, or I got on a Saint Laurent, you know, shirt, or I got whatever. So it's about mixing that high and low.
Yeah.
So you don't overspend. Don't go broke. Don't do that. You know, don't spend your last. Make sure you got something put away. And my mantra is also this: I'm not going to spend it unless I have double that sitting in my account.
Ooh, speak on that. Say that one more time and slow for the people, brother. I
am not going to spend it unless I have double that sitting in my account. So if I go out shopping and I didn't drop $2,000-$3,000 that day or that weekend, best believe I got that already sitting in my account that I'm not even going to touch. You know,
that's hard.
Don't spend your last. Don't spend your last in order to impress who? People who don't care about you anyway. So at the end of the day, I don't do it for social media. People live in falsehoods on social media every day, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I do it because it's an investment in my brand and it's what I love. So for me, I'm going to wear what it is that I'm comfortable in, and anybody who's on this live, wear what works for you, you know? Because I already created some bomb looks out of Sears and Target.
Oh, all day.
Let's talk about it.
All day.
Talk about it.
Because Mark, like you said, you know, it's I love to find like a little shirt or like a Henley T-shirt, short sleeve from a Target. Find a vintage piece from, you know, any place where I can find a vintage option. There's some you know, Ash 8810 asked a question about, you know, online vintage shops like ThredUp, Depop, and The Real. Oh, I'm a little skeptical.
Don't be
exactly. eBay.
Don't be.
Yep.
And I say that because I've actually done purchases off of The Real. They authenticate everything. They provide you with what you need. Now, ThredUp, Depop, like I haven't ordered from any of them, but I would be very candid to say those luxury pieces that you're not going to wear often, do not invest in a brand new piece. Like for what? Yep. Like if it's luggage, TSA is going to trash your bag. So if you want it because it's something that you've always wanted, buy it regular price. If it's something that you know, I'll say this: if you've never had a luxury piece or you have very, very minimal, buy it retail to just get the experience. Go in the store. I love a good, you know, luxury brand. You go in, you sip your champagne. You get a conversation. Trust me, out Tyson's, they all know me. It's ridiculous. Don't judge me. It's great. But, you know, they give you what you need. They definitely want to take care of you. So go for the experience. And, you know, you get the box and the fresh smelling dust bag and this, that, and the third. So everything is amazing. It's a great experience. But once you bypass all of that, like by all means, Ash, like Real, Rebag, I've ordered from these type of spot. Like it has been legit for me. And I don't think it's, you know, I wouldn't say be skeptical of it. I would say read the reviews on it. But me personally, I have personally ordered from those sites for different things. And listen, consignment is where it's at when you about to just be throwing around in it. Like
for sure. I agree. Mark, I got another question for us. So Deja Monique asked, if you could do a collab with any brand, what would it be or what would it be?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Any brand? I mean, I'm going to have to say again, I love a good YSL. You know, I love Saint Laurent. So if I can get in there and do a collaboration with them to kind of make the brand, because it's so classic. It's if you look at my page, anybody who's on here who's not, you know, following me, please follow. I love clean lines. Love clean lines. I don't over accessorize. I like things to be super clean. So that's how YSL is for me. So if I could go in there and keep that clean, and I can keep that classic, but adding a little bit of street mixed in there. Yeah.
Killing them.
Yeah. Like it would be a whole problem, like an entire problem. Also, Helmut Lang. Helmut Lang is nasty with it, bro. Like nasty. So to do a nice little collab with him too, I would love that.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. For me, I actually would love to collab with Oswald Boateng. He's one of my favorite people. He brings in that color, silhouette, slim silhouette. So we got one more question. I want to offer this question for the good brother Luis before we head out of here, and then I'll ask you. So we got one more question for the audience.
Yes.
And I got one question for you personally, and then we'll wrap it up for tonight's show. I know your time is valuable. So Luis asked, I love the content. I have a wedding next month and was wondering if I can get some insights on best attire color-wise. And I would assume that also depends upon where you are in the world, Luis, right?
Yes.
That makes a difference. Go for it, Mark.
So color-wise, I mean, I would honestly have to see you, Luis, in order to, give a good exact color preference or palette. I'm going to say let's go with what is in season. Let's go with what's in season. If you said you're getting married, next month? That is May. So we're talking about.
I was in Chicago.
You're in Chicago. May is spring.
It might be a little chill. A little cool air.
Might be a little chill. You might want to wear some gloves to your wedding. Maybe a little hat. But I'm going to say for spring, I like, of course, nothing that's too bright, but I would love to see a good, how would I put it? I like a good neutral. A muted color, especially, for suiting and things of that nature, like, but a muted bold. So for example, like a dusty rose.
Muted teal.
Like a muted teal, like a muted mustard, like, because you can mix and match. Luis, do not a whole mustard suit. No, don't do that. But don't have to be a whole teal suit. No. You can break it up. But you do a solid, black bottom in terms of your pant. But said rose and blue. I gotta see it. I would probably be more inclined to do rose with black. But, to keep it a little traditional, but I got to see it together. I'm open, and I always give my client multiple options, for sure. But again, with it being spring, but you've been in Chicago, probably still going to be about in the 50s, 60s. So
60s probably,
trench coat it is. Yep.
Ooh, like a light trench, a lightweight trench. That'd be fly, man.
Trench it is.
Yeah, I like that.
But now, Luis, you can reach out in my DM, and I can also give you other ideas and suggestions once I see you and kind of can assess your profile and your palette. So
that's what's up. I appreciate you, Mark. So let's couple of questions, and then we head out of here. So where can the good people find you if they have more questions, just like Luis, about style, the industry itself? In your mindset, where can everyone find you? So
right here on IG, if you're not following, please take a moment to do that. That is Styled by Mark Q. Style with an ED on the end. And Mark Q is MARKQ. My website, markqinc.com. You can find me there. I don't have too many other social media platforms. I don't really use Facebook like that, but Instagram is the best way to reach me. Email inquiry can be done, like I say, through my website, but shoot me a DM. I'm super humble, man, super down to earth. Like, I work with any and everybody as long as you have the budget.
At that brand.
But, I work with any and everybody, and I'm open. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a dialogue. I can see what your needs are. I can let you know what I provide. Or if you just want to follow to get some style inspiration, do that. I post me, my lifestyle stuff up there for people to actually follow that and see that. For my ladies out there, my female clientele is out of control, so they already see what I do with that.
They be popping. I'm like,
but I'm telling you, like, the new content that I got coming, it's elevation, man. It's elevation.
Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it.
Are going to be. It's going to be all love. Like, we got some new bangers coming. I got some new publications coming out. God is working, man. So, and possibly some new projects, even just this weekend. So we're sending them prayers up for some major things. The press. So I'm grateful. And again, for everybody who's on this call, man, I appreciate the interview. I appreciate you for inviting me. You guys on the call, please follow the StyleJumper.
Appreciate it.
I'm grateful, man, and living my dream.
Man, that's beautiful. You have that duality of your dream, your fulfillment, as well as doing good work on both sides.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate your time tonight. My question to you, my final question, is if you could spend 24 hours with any creative designer, who would it be, dead or alive? Who would it be? We talk about Ihsaan Laurent, but who would it be and why?
Man, I wish you would have asked me this yesterday so I could have time to think about it.
Hey, man, it's the first one to come to your mind, man. No one's going to judge you and hold you to your first thought, but that's usually one that you think about. Like, man, I really want to kick it with that person. I wonder what they think.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. And I don't care if nobody judge me, because this is what I want to do. I want to spend 24 hours with Kanye West.
My man, why? Tell the good people why you would want to spend 24 hours with Ye.
I personally think Ye is wise beyond his years, but he's been hurt. There's a lot of pain there. He has an untold story that I want to tap into. My closest friends who know me know I've always been a Ye fan, and when he was coming out talking out the side of his neck about a bunch of things, and we all know the political side of things he was on a while back, yada yada. We're not gonna get into that, but Ye, I believe, has a story to tell, and I want to be able to sit down and tap into the root of who he really is. The man is a genius. The man is incredibly hella smart. But he's always outcast, because everybody has an opinion. And it's one thing about social media that burns me up, is that everyone has an opinion about something. It's like, well, what the hell are you doing?
Facts.
You sitting
bars,
back
man. Bars.
But what are you doing?
Bars.
How are you making an impact? Are you living your dream? Okay, well then let's talk about it. So for me, Ye is something deeper, man. It's something deeper. And I would love to really sit down as a creative, as a designer, and literally figure out how he comes up with his concepts, how he comes up with the designs, how he curates his fashion shows, his lookbooks, his brand partnerships, his concerts. Like, how do you, like, where does this all come from? And what is your biggest inspiration? And again, a lot of what he does, again, I know comes from a place of creativity, but also a place of hurt and pain with losing his mom and, different things in the media. So do I think we got some mental health issues going on? Probably. But instead of chastising him and instead of trying to break him down as a fellow Black man, let's find a way to build him up. And let's figure out where things went wrong, where things went left, for him before we start judging him. You know what I mean? So
100%.
give me 24 hours with Ye. And then when I finish with that conversation, I just want to load another 24 hours with Jay-Z. That's it. Give me Ye and Jay. Ye and Jay. That's it.
Oh man, boy.
That's it. Ye and Jay.
That's a combo. That's the ultimate combo. Presently, that's the ultimate combo to be around. I agree with you 100%. That's just interesting, man. So I just want to thank you, give you your flowers. Thank you so much, Mark, for spending the time with me and accepting this invitation for the podcast. I want to thank everyone who spent the time tonight with us and to fellowship with brothers, with men who are trying to pour into each other and share that love for each other and what we love to do. And also, I appreciate your thoughts, your comments, your suggestions. And Mark, you be blessed. You stay up. I'll see you here in the DMV. And everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank y'all, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Peace.
All right, man.
I hope you enjoyed today's amazing interview. Today's episode was brought to you by my new book, Why Style Matters, The Mindset of Dressing Well and How It Impacts Your Life. To get your autographed copy, click the link in the description.